going on, everyone? Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365 live from the Xfinity studio. Good grief. I'm Bailey, joined by AJ and J-Mike today. We had ourselves a competitive game today, folks. That's kind of a win in my book, right? Sort of.
I mean,
it's not a blowout.
What's going on now, right?
No, yeah, I was fully expecting Canada to be a little bit more of a dominant force than they were. But of course, Finland and history repeating itself showed that was not the case. And made it a game. So yeah, that was very exciting to watch. Looks like Canada will be one of two teams. Looks like it's going to be the US in the gold medal match coming up here soon. I mean, that's the expectation, right? There's no surprises really here.
Yeah, I mean, we were on a collision course, right, for US Canada from the beginning.
Yeah.
If Slovakia has a 6-goal third period in them, then Connor Hellebuyck is a much bigger choke artist than any of us realized. So, yeah, no, I would be very surprised if it's anything but those two at this point.
That would have to be, I'd imagine, the worst period of hockey ever from him, if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, he had that first round series against the Avs a couple of years ago that was a little bloodbathy, but this would be much worse. That Avalanche team was good, and Slovakia lighting him up like that in the third period would be a train wreck. And there's no way he would stay in for all of them, right? Like
No.
You would
if
get like 3 or
Slovakia's
4 goals in and be like,
right,
we got to make a change.
Yeah, if Slovakia is pulling their goalie at that point, you got to imagine they're like, no, this is not acceptable from you, Hellebuyck. Like, we're good. Yeah, so looks like that's going to be the case. Again, not very surprised, but I will say it was very nice to see the amount of push we got from Finland in today's game. Especially given how some of the last have gone for them. I was excited to see that pushback. Now, granted, Team Canada's maybe battling their own ailments. You look at Nathan McKinnon, who's very clearly unwell at the moment. But I did really like the push and the compete that they provided through most of this game.
Yeah, I mean, Canada dominated the majority of that game. It was just a matter of finishing. It was a matter of figuring out how to get a puck past UC Soros. And Finland, I loved Finland's game through the first 20 minutes. Obviously, the lead is nice, but the way that they played, it was very aggressive on a counterattack. It was, hey, we're going to play smart defensively, and then we're going to attack up the ice when we free up a puck. A team full of really good two-way players is going to be successful in that manner. And funny enough, both of their goals. It was a power play goal and a shorthanded goal. They didn't score a 5v5 at all. So
Mikko Rantanen scoring power play goals. Who's shocked here?
Yeah, Eric Haula scoring a PK goal. It's a great day for me. No, I loved the way that Finland was going, and then once Canada just decided to drop the hammer, Finland had no response. There was just not another level for them to get to against the Canadians. And once Canada's defense really started to activate and push the pace a little bit from the back end, the transformation was complete into their final boss kind of selves. And they kicked ass from there. I mean, it was not close. Finland never made a sustained offensive push for the last 2 periods, basically. Even when the game got tied up 2-2 in the third period, there was not a big response from them. They had scoring chances. They had individual chances, but it was all one and done. It was never sustained, and they looked completely shell-shocked. And it was a bummer of a way for the game to end with a power play like that, but it was the right call.
I was going to say Finland through the first period, 8 shots on goal. They totaled 9 through the second and third. Just goes to show like how, like, yes, you can make it somewhat competitive with the chances that you're putting on, but it's hard to create a lot when you don't have much to work with, I guess.
Yep.
So
just the disparity in possession in this game was wild. Like it felt like Canada would have the puck for 5 minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know the comments we were making during the watch along, especially during the third period, was like, are they ever going to properly possess the puck in the ozone ever again during this game? Like, is that really where we're headed with this? Is Canada really dominating that much toward the end? But
yeah, and when you're in Finland's position, when you're having to defend for 20, 30 seconds at a time, that you're never going to get back on offense. Like that's the end of your shift.
Mm-hmm.
So, it allowed Canada to play on their toes the rest of the game, and they never really had to worry about making a big mistake after that, because the couple of decent scoring chances that they had, Finland either boofed or Jordan Binnington made a save. In a game where he only gave up 2 goals, but he ended up facing like 15 shots. Like it was a joke.
Yeah, and he finished the night with a .882 save percentage.
Right.
So
once again, under 900. It was under 900 against Czechia too.
Yeah, and that was going to be the question I asked you, because I know we've spent a lot of time on this podcast throughout this Olympic break and leading up to it, really crapping on Jordan Binnington. Does this Team Canada run look any different if they're, you've got Darcy Kemper, who's been sitting for the entirety of the tournament. Logan Thompson really hasn't gotten much time. Does this look any different if Jordan Binnington's not the guy spearheading this for them?
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know that it does, because defensively they've been so excellent that I'm not sure it would make a big difference. Maybe in the Czechia game where there was a goal or two that you might have had issue with, but he turned around. He made the one big save in overtime, and obviously he made the big save on Marty Necas on the breakaway with 1 minute left. So honestly, it's just they haven't given him a very hard job. He hasn't been amazing. He's just made the very small number of high level saves he's needed to make, and the goals that have been scored, like, let's be real. Like the Rantanen goal today, that's not one that you're expecting him to stop. And the other one is on a breakaway, which I've always said, like, I'm never going to kill a goalie for giving up a goal on a breakaway. It's a great finish from Eric Haller.
Yeah, that's
we should talk about that more, Bailey.
No. No. We don't have to talk about it too that much. Eric Haller, man. He makes it so difficult to not like what he does on the ice. He really is. Talk about a player that knows how to produce when given the puck. I mean, like him, hate him all you want. Like him as a person, hate him as a person. Like, he's a fantastic hockey player.
Yeah, he's a good player. One that we're going to talk about a lot next week as we get into trade deadline stuff.
Yes.
Sorry. One that I'm going to talk a lot about, and you're going to roll your eyes.
I'm telling you, if they make bracelets after this, I'm fully jumping on the Eric Haller train. I will give up my, reservations. It's fine. Speaking of goaltenders too, I know it's not very, I shouldn't say that. Not that it's not common, but it's really interesting when you look at a losing goaltender who has a better save percentage. And that is exactly what UC Soros put up today. This game is way worse if he is not performing the way that he is for Team Finland.
I mean, he's the reason this was a game, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the guy played on top of his head in this one, and that's who you feel, I think, the worst for, especially given the way things end. Like, if you just get beat 5-on-5, I think that's a little bit easier to live with. The fact that, you give up maybe a ticky-tacky penalty, I think it was the right call regardless, but to lose on a power play after you've played as well as he did in this one, it's heartbreaking. Canada given real sports movie villain vibes in this, where it's like they just kind of play with their food, give you hope that they're, you could see something, only to slam the door shut and remind everyone just how dominant they truly are.
And this is with one of their best players sick. Like that's what's even crazier to me too. Is like you've got
no
and
Crosby,
not just sick, but like performing and sick. I don't know. That's
figuratively and literally sick.
Is that the next T-shirt for
I
Nathan McKinnon?
I was literally describing it to Yaya. I was like, no, Nathan McKinnon is like literally sick, and I was like, I don't mean like sick. I mean
he's ill.
Sick.
He's
yeah,
ill.
No, I
He's
should have
physically
said
ill.
He's
Throwing up
physically
Gatorade
ill
on the bench. It's fine.
And I don't mean he's the illest, which is also true.
Say, ill
I mean
can mean
he's
cool too, though.
ill.
We're still ambiguous at that point.
I just I wanted to make sure to give my flowers and bring up some kudos to UC Soros. Like he's for a guy I think we've collectively as a league maybe lost a little faith in. I will never not bring up his no goals commercial, but ever since that commercial was made, it's gone kind of down the drain for him just a little bit. But he's not like as standout as he has been in his career. I'll put it that way. And for him to kind of show up on this stage and be able to, perform the way that he has and at least make it the game that it was for Finland, I think is, I mean, that's got to have a huge impact on a bronze medal game for them coming up.
Yeah, I think it's also important to note that there's a decent and maybe better than decent argument that Soros was clearly interfered with on the second Canada goal. Because he literally had Brad Marchand tumble on top of him, and then he had to get up and find the puck in the middle of all that scramble. He very technically, did he have a chance to reset and stop that shot from Shea Theodore? He did. But you could see he's off his angle, and it's because he's literally getting up and scrambling. And Brad Marchand didn't fall on him 100% on his own, which muddied the waters of all of it as well. But it is fair to note, important to point out that that was a big part of that goal as well. And it sucks because the third goal, it's just not a very good goal from Soros. It's a slow cross ice pass. They got through. I think it comes with 1 or 2 seconds left on the PK. Like they were right at the finish line of that PK of surviving, and just couldn't. It's the one goal that he's looking at going, I wish I could do that one again. The other ones, come on. The first one is an unbelievable tip, and the second one, it's not a great goal, but given the context of the situation, I'm not blaming that guy.
Right.
Would you have challenged in that situation?
Yes.
I would have too.
I would have taken.
They had a better chance of bringing that one back than the offside call they challenged.
Yeah, well, the offside's black and white, right? Like the offside is he offside or not? And it ended up being very, very close. And you can understand why, like, hey, like, just make them take a look at it, make them actually call it good. But yeah, the second Finland or the second Canada goal, Finland had a good argument for challenging. I think the fear is it's not clear cut enough to pull off the board. And if they get it wrong, they're putting the freaking Canadian team on a power play in a 2-2 game. Like, if that's the 3-2 goal, I think there's you're not even questioning about challenging it. But because it's the 2-2 goal, there's 9 minutes left in the third. You're getting run through. The downside is you get it wrong. It ends up the goal stands, and there's a strong enough argument for it standing that you could see why they would go, well, we don't want to put them on a power play. It's essentially a 0-0 game again. I can understand. Like, I still would have done it because they were
just feels like operating
so
not to lose instead of trying to win. And you have to, like, I get it. Hindsight's always 20/20, and it would be really easy to go back and say, you morons, if they give up the tying goal and then go on the PK and immediately give up a power play goal too. Everyone's going to be like, look at how things compounded on you. But I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like even the off chance of getting it turned over, and I feel like there's at least enough contact there to where it's a debate.
Yeah. I agree. And that's why I would have done it. Like, context is a huge factor in that. Had that been the 2-1 goal, no way you challenge it. Had it been the
Yeah.
3-2 goal, you definitely challenge it. As the 2-2 goal, that's a really hard call to make. And you have like in real time, you're standing on the bench. You have 30 to 45 seconds. If it's John Cooper, you have as long as you need. But every other coach in the world has 30 to 45 seconds to try and figure that out. It's a really tough call.
Right. I want to get into the makeup of that and how much that potentially sways momentum here. But we do have our first ad break to get in here. So let's shout out some of our sponsors. Guys, it's wintertime, so Avalanche Amber season is here. It's dark, a perfect balance of malt and hops, just a little sweet and so easy to drink as the days get colder and shorter. One of Breck's first hits, and it's a true classic, so good they named a hockey team after it. I'm not usually a huge beer person, but when it comes to Breck Brew, these guys know exactly what they're doing. They're the official craft beer of us here at DNVR. And we love our beers here at DNVR. Breck Brew has a beer for any occasion. There's no better way to watch a game than having some Breck Brew. And they've been doing it for more than 33 years. It all comes down to their love and passion for making great beer. It's made with 100% renewable energy. And guys, it's not just Avalanche beers that they have for you. If you're looking for a Nuggets beer, go check out their Mile High City. They've got a few Broncos beers, their Broncos Country Pale Ale, their Funslinger. Not only a fun name, but a really, really good beer. So be sure to go check them out at breckbrew.com. Again, check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. And after you've used that beer locator, make sure you guys are getting there in style with Toyota, the official vehicle not only of the Colorado Avalanche, but of us here at DNVR. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA, and for generations, Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world, there's a Toyota truck that is just right for you. Like the all-new 2025 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2025 Land Cruiser. Toyota offers 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner, my personal favorite. And Toyota currently offers more low and zero-emission vehicles combined than any other automaker to give customers numerous choices to reduce their carbon footprint. There are 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. Might be worth checking out, guys. Toyota SUVs take command on the road and on the trail so you can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing smooth city rides in SUVs like the RAV4 and the Grand Highlander. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota in Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Again, the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365. Breaking down these goals. Again, we talk a little bit about the why maybe behind some of these challenges and not. But if they go and challenge that 2-2 goal, Marchand goes right into Soros. How much does that change the momentum, or I guess the lack of a call there? How much does that change the momentum of this game?
Well, if it stays 2-1, that's obviously really, really big. But I don't know that it honestly changes a whole lot in how the game was played. Canada was already full, like foot on the gas, pedal to the metal here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that it changes. And Finland, the conversation for Finland is the same. They're still trying to survive. They're still trying to get out of it. And then if they do challenge and it's upheld and then they go on a power play, like it looks kind of like the power play that Canada ultimately scored on with a minute left. Like I just honestly, I was just saying it's such a hard decision to make, and now that I'm talking my way through this, I'm like, should have just done it.
Yeah,
it doesn't like the goal is the point. Can you get through 9 more minutes? They needed some sort of offense. I think the big disappointment here is that they just never pushed back. They never made a sustained push. They didn't do anything. After 2-2, it's disappointing. Should they have maybe called a timeout or something? Like maybe, but the lack of response, I think, is the hard part to swallow here. Just from a neutral observer who doesn't really care that much about the outcome. was disappointing that they didn't really get back into it and make it more of a game at the end.
That's where I'm kind of coming at it from. Like, worst that can happen. I mean, yeah, obviously you lose this game. You're looking to make a push for the gold medal round, but either you're getting a goal taken off and that does a lot for your momentum, a lot for your energy, right? Or you're going on, a man disadvantage. That's a really huge kill for you. You kill that and that does a lot for your energy. So like you're getting it from multiple different places if you make it through and the challenge doesn't go your way. Like that's, I don't know, it just seemed like a stupid decision, like to put it bluntly from me.
It's an easy to second guess decision for sure, especially knowing how it ended.
Mm-hmm. So,
I
and
just
then
think the only way you beat a team like Canada is by being willing to punch back, to punch first, to kick, scratch, claw. I don't know. Like it, honestly, it felt like that game, the tide had turned before that goal anyways. And even if they don't score there, it's probably inevitable. It feels like it had flipped at that point. But I don't try something. Like if you're in an action movie and you're being shot at and you've got like a little piece of wood in front of you, like that wood might block one bullet, but like you're going to have to get out of there at some point.
yeah.
And it just feel like they laid down and turtled, as somebody says in the Toyota chat here. Like they just, they were hoping that Canada would not take it over or find a way to beat themselves. And like, you're just not going to pull an upset like that.
I was going to say, if that's the team you're looking for that kind of response or something from Canada, you're not going to get it out of Canada. The type of players they have.
You have a 2-0 lead. You have to play with moxie. You've got to play with some confidence. You have to play with an edge. You have to play with much more of a positive attitude than, well, we hope that we're going to survive this. Like, they just played so small by the end of the game that I'm just disappointed because that's not Finland's MO on the international stage. They are a hard out, and when they have a lead, they are exceptional at protecting it because they're really good and they're really good defensively. And if you make one mistake against them, they can absolutely bury you. And we didn't see that last bullet point there. We just saw them trying to hang on. It was just killer to watch because it did have an air of inevitability to it, which is maybe another reason why they didn't want to bother challenging it. Like, okay, we'll take being at 2-2. Let's get it back. Let's get back to work. We don't want to make this easier for them by putting them on a power play where we know that they are going to be absolutely lethal. And wouldn't you know it, that's how they won the game. But
it gave big small school football energy, like playing CSU at Michigan or something. Like, I don't, it's 4th and 1. We can't go for this because we're going to give it to them. And it's like, well, if that's your mindset, you're fucked anyways. So at least go down swinging. Like, especially after seeing the Czechs the other day, like they blew the lead too. But they had 4 really good scoring chances even after blowing the lead. Like they gave themselves an opportunity, and it feels like Finland just kind of played Dan Reeves football. Like we're gonna play not to lose, and it's like, buddy, you aren't the team for that. Like you've got to find a way to steal a couple.
Yeah, they folded up shop, and I do love the idea. I think you're right in that it magically works. Cool. I do like the idea that especially the comparison against the Czechs, where that was punch, counter punch, counter punch, counter. Like that was a heavyweight tilt, and Finland, by way of the score, it felt close, but when you actually watched the game, it did not.
Not at all.
It just felt like Finland got spotted 2 goals, and then Canada basically said, "Okay, first of 3 wins."
Yep.
From that moment.
Yep. I don't know. I think the moment for me when you talk about Finland folding too is that Tom Wilson, Mikko Rantanen. I don't even know if you can call it a skirmish along the boards, but Rantanen's just kind of laying there. He's funny. Just like laying there puck watching, and I'm like, at this point, like I understand this is Mikko Rantanen, right? And like maybe expectations should not be that high for like the way that he plays the game, whatever. But you're looking at the guy who scores the first goal, for Finland. You're looking at somebody who is on the first line. You're looking for some sort of, maybe offense or some sort of jolt or something for Finland. Yeah. And I think it's a little disheartening for me looking on from the outside that's your top player or one of your top players at least. And what is he doing to try and help you get back into this?
He's literally laying down on the job. Literally, that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
it was a funny.
He's
sequence.
Relatable. I give him that. High talent.
I know. That's where I'm sitting. I'm like, same Rantanen, but also I don't get paid millions of dollars and I'm not recognized as one of the best hockey players in the league. So maybe this should not be as relatable as it is.
Yeah, he had the I don't really want to do the work today going on in his brain, and you're like, I get it, man. Oh my god, that's fantastic. It's Friday, man. I understand.
I get it, but come on.
Yeah, the one shot that he makes is not enough of an impact for Mikko freaking Rantanen.
Especially in this
it's a great
setting,
shot.
Right? You're playing
great
Canada,
shot,
but it just kind of felt classic. I checked in for my 6-hour shift and the manager complimented me 90 minutes in. So we're going to call it a day.
Yeah. I just came across a TikTok the other day of
so funny.
the 12-hour shift nurses. They're super bubbly and happy at the beginning of their shift and they're dying at the end. And I'm like, that's Mikko Rantanen.
Me when I bartend.
Me. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, when I used to cater weddings back in the day, I mean, I'm clock watching. I'm just the time cannot go fast enough. Mikko's
that's every second feels like an hour, and I'm like, yeah.
Not trying to turn this into a Mikko Rantanen hate fest because a handful of the other
Mikko
Finnish
t-shirt under
stars
this hoodie. I still love
were
the
not
guy.
good.
Yeah. No, it was not just Mikko's fault. But I bring that up again because you're talking about one of the top players for Finland, right? You're talking about a guy who can drive a lot of offense, and that's what he's doing during the game.
He's I think the top player for Finland. If I was building an NHL team and you gave me an opportunity to draft, not based on position, because obviously Aho and Heiskanen would be more important, but the most talented Finnish player, it's Mikko Rantanen by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the double-edged sword of Mikko's game. He can do something spectacular in the 1 second he has the puck on his stick, but the rest of the game, he plays like he's 5'6".
Yeah, it looks lazy to a point, and sometimes he can work that in his favor. There's a lot of times where I'm seeing him rush up the ice, and I'm like he's big. I get it. It's hard to stop that, but also, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's the stuff about Mikko Rantanen that you're like, I'll miss that. I don't miss any part of this aspect of the Mikko experience. Because when he's at his best and he's absolutely dominating and that's, he's full on moose, very, very few people. He's probably a top 5-ish player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy that we saw today is the one that you're like, this is the one that I'm in 3 years.
That's where it's so frustrating. You know what's possible though. I was in the building for that game 7. I've seen him turn it on.
Yeah.
And leave me speechless. But
yeah,
I don't know. He gives Jay Cutler vibes from the Broncos back in the day where it's just man, you're a physical freak, but I don't know if you actually truly love doing the little things.
Yeah.
He's far more competitive than Jay Cutler ever was, but it manifests in really poor ways because he becomes such a pouty little man baby about it.
That's what I mean.
I don't think it was a lot of that was the problem today. I just don't think he did much after the goal. He didn't fully clock in, dedicated to play the game the right way. And Finland is never going to be successful at the highest level internationally if Mikko isn't doing that. And when NHL players are there in this setting, Olympics, best on best like this, they have to have the best Mikko Rantanen version, and they didn't. They got one goal, and that was the only moment that he gave them the entire game.
Yep. I do want to shift and talk about probably the biggest goal of this game coming from our very own Nathan McKinnon. But first, do want to shout out a couple more of our sponsors, so let's go do that. Are you guys looking for reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? I know somebody who provides reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and that's our friends over at Xfinity. Especially with their new 5-year price guarantee, you really can't go wrong with these guys. What if you could have that reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the 5-year price guarantee over at Xfinity. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense, and that lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years at the same price. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, you guys, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me. A lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Look at your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only and restrictions apply. And what better way to use that Wi-Fi than to check out our friends over at Raising Cane's. If you need a Cane's fix, order at raisingcanes.com or on the Cane's mobile app, where every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order just for you. Every crinkle cut fry comes from grade A premium potatoes. Each thick sliced Texas toast is lightly brushed with Cane's garlic butter blend and grilled on the griddle to golden brown perfection. I'm a big lover of Texas toast, so if you're going just for that, I can't recommend them enough, you guys. And most importantly, where the secret recipe cane sauce is made in restaurant every single day. Fix those hunger cravings on the go. Now on the Cane's mobile ordering platform, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, brought to you by Bet365. Nathan McKinnon. He's been a heck of a conversation the last couple days, not just for being the best player in the world, or at least one of, in that conversation, at least. But missed a practice the other day, an optional, so not the only one. Cale Makar, Devon Taves were among players also not at this optional, so I didn't really bat any eyelashes, but a lot of media over in Milan and around were very concerned with Nathan McKinnon after the way he looked last game and even, in this game. He looks unwell, like not great at all.
He looked like Beetlejuice. Like, straight up, I was like, if we say his name 3 times, is he going to pop out of the ground and then score a goal? And that's, of course, what happened. But, like, you were genuinely concerned at times where I'm like, dude, his eyes, I think Rudo said it, his eyes look sunken into his head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his eyes look like they were slowly, like, quicksanding into his skull because he looks so sick. That man needs IV and sleep, like, desperately. We were talking about he should not, if they had lost and gone into the bronze medal game tomorrow, he shouldn't have played.
Yeah.
He would have, because obviously, like, Psycho's going to do what they do, but, like, he should not have played. He looks so sick.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about his knee as much as I am this dude just, like, being able to get on a plane and hold a meal down.
Yeah. And I'll be the first to like eat my words on this too, because like this is not uncommon behavior, as you mentioned, for Nathan McKinnon. Like, it's not weird for him to take maintenance days from required practices or to miss optionals. So I'm just sitting there like, this is Nathan McKinnon doing what Nathan McKinnon does. Anybody who watches the Avalanche knows this is normal behavior. But like, especially after looking at this game, like there's seeing him out on the ice and seeing him maybe perform at like 70% max. And then they're seeing him on the bench and being like, this just does not look okay. Granted, given all of that, perhaps one of the biggest goals of Nathan McKinnon's career in bringing Team Canada to the gold medal match. Originally, again, there's the whole offsides challenge, but really huge to bring Canada up and beyond to complete the comeback in this game.
I like to think he gave the puck to Sid with like a little note. This one's for you.
Oh, that would have been that would be such a cute story. Which, by the way, sounds like Sid could play in the gold medal match for anybody wondering about the Sid Mac connection. Could still happen. But no, it's just like that's I guess the question I wanted to bring up too. Somebody brought this up in the watch along chat or on Twitter or something. This is a huge goal from Nathan McKinnon, especially given all of the factors coming into this game, the way Nathan McKinnon's performing despite, quite literally almost dying on the bench. Is this perhaps like one of the biggest goals of his career? Like, am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the bigger goals of his career. You think about the 22 Cup run, and I don't want to say he didn't score any big goals because he did, but like you think about the game-winning goals for a lot of those, they're not him. He scores like the first goal, and they score 2 to win, right? Or he assists. I think he has 2 assists in the cup clinching game 6 in Tampa Bay. Like, I thinking about it, it's funny because I saw that tweet and my first thought was, yeah, what is his biggest goal in his career? And it might have been the goal that he scored for the Team Young Stars in the World Cup back in the day, for like the Team North America kids.
Yeah. Wow.
And he scored it against Henrik Lundqvist in Team Sweden, where it was like that was such like a holy moly caliber of goal, and everybody in the hockey world was watching that game and freaking out, and it was so awesome. And it's weird to think, has he scored big goals since then? Of course, but like the game-winning goal of the semifinals of the Olympics is pretty big.
Yeah. I don't know. Thought that was a fun conversation. Obviously, this is the goal that propels Canada, getting them into the gold medal match. I do want to bring up again, it is 5-1 as of right now for this United States-Slovakia game. Very, very likely looking like U.S., Canada, and then Slovakia and Finland for these upcoming games. Slovakia and Finland being that bronze medal match. Was Slovakia
I can tell you which game I'm going to watch.
I'm looking at this, right? And I'm like, Finland makes sense. This is a team I had winning the bronze, going, making it that way through the tournament. Slovakia, sneaky good this year. Really sneaky good in this tournament.
Yeah. Juraj Slafkovský, who has the only Slovakian goal right now, by the way. It's 6-1, by the way. This is his like superstar coming out into the whole full stage and being like, I'm a 1-1. I'm the face of the Canadiens. Like, this is like, I'm putting myself on the map. All y'all about to be real unhappy.
Yeah.
And the rest of that team isn't great. They got very, very, very good goaltending from a guy who has not been a good goaltender in the AHL this year, and kind of had his Andrew Hammond, Hamburglar, like the jig is up moment in today's game.
Yeah.
Like, you need to find an extra level. You're not that guy, which sucks because it's been such a great story. Slovakia is a great story. I love that Slovakia is getting back into being a hard out in this manner in the Olympics, because for a few years there, it was not great. It looked like Czechia was leaving them in the dust completely, and we were dropping down to 6 real hockey countries that it was the big
Especially
7.
no Russia, right? Like, you need them for just the field to be intriguing.
Yeah. And with Slovakia playing as well as they have, there needs to obviously continue. There needs to be a little bit more depth. They really need a goaltender, but they're great, and kudos to them. And they had the hardest group. They won the hardest group. Like, they earned their way here. They beat up a pretty solid Germany team, and yeah, they're getting embarrassed by the Americans right now. But like, we've talked all tournament, this is USA and Canada are on a collision course in the gold medal game. This is why when these teams turn it on and find the top of their level, U.S. and Canada are the best teams, and Slovakia, unfortunately, just got in the way of the buzzsaw today.
Yep. We've talked a lot, I know, about, Canada being our favorites, or at least most of our favorites. If you have not read our Olympic roundtable, by the way, go check that out. But we talk about that best on best. We've mentioned, Russia's not in this. How much does that move that needle for Team Canada if Russia is their biggest opponent versus a Team USA, or do they not rival a Team USA either? Like, how does that line up for you guys if Russia is in this?
Russia would be, because of their goaltending, you're going to have Vasilevsky or Shesterkin in net. That's really, really tough. Like, that's a really good place to start, and the rest of their team is very good. Their defense would be, weirdly enough, their defense doesn't have very many like high-end puck movers right now. It's a lot of the like big uglies back there. But offensively, they are extremely high-end now. It's 6-2. But Russia's offense would have been extremely high-end. They would have been a very hard out. I would have had them on the same level as Finland and Sweden, probably a little bit ahead of Sweden because of the goaltending, but right in that same vein of like, you would have had a big 5 instead of a big 4.
Yeah, no, I know like that goaltending for me kind of sets the foundation for them, right? But it's hard to beat some of that offense that they have too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're talking about on separate lines. On line 1, you would have had Nikita Kucherov, and then on line 2, you would have had Kirill Kaprizov. Like, they would have been a very tough out.
So, I guess next, I'm trying to think.
On Russia real quick. I'm sorry. It's not best on best without them. And if you're going to use like geopolitical world issues as a reason for not bringing them, I don't feel like I have a strong objection here. Like, hey, you're invading another country. I understand.
Yeah.
But it's really whack to me that you're going to draw a line in the sand and say, oh, well, these are the big bads. But some of these other countries that are also up to some shady stuff, they're allowed to come. It just feels very made up to me. And
the line is very clearly blurred in that.
And like the athletes are the ones who are punished. The tournament is worse for it. Should we allow a country to send its athletes to a world stage and get to like show off the best of their athletes when they're actively invading another country and killing a bunch of people? It's a fair argument to say no.
Yes.
So true. They should stop doing that so that Russian players can come back to the Olympics in 4 years.
Think of the hockey, Putin.
Exactly. The guy, he loves hockey. We watch him play those fake games all the times where he scores 12 goals or whatever. Like, just stop killing people.
Yeah.
I mean, the steroid stuff historically doesn't hurt their cause.
It doesn't help
I think
either,
it's a situation where you've been begging
the doping
for
is a big problem.
Exactly, but they just don't have a lot of good faith established, I would say, when it comes to it's like they were looking for a reason to get rid of him. You gave them a reason. So
yeah. Speaking of the USA, now 6-2. Slovakia did get another goal in there. Of the 6 goals that the US has, Brock Nelson is not among them. No points in today's game. So I did want to kind of bring this up because you saw how hot of a start he had. That really wasn't it. We talk about how good Brock Nelson has been for the Avs in the last 30 games or so for the Avs. He's been fantastic. And that was just, proven to a point in this tournament so far at the beginning. Was it sustainable, or are we a little disappointed at how little he's not shown up on the
he got his moment
recently?
He already validated his inclusion on the roster with the way he played early, but he also wasn't. He's not supposed to be the headliner. right? If he's the guy that you're, putting on the poster and hey, starring, he's an opener's opener, but he was able to get his moment, which was all you really could hope for, and was a fun little story. But I mean, like, he's a depth piece on this team, and that's all he needs to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, he had the 2 goals. I don't think he's recorded a point since then.
No.
So a little, I think it's a little disappointing, but
I'd like to see
I'm not bothered by it.
Sure.
It's. Oh,
He
has an
hasn't
assist.
floundered. He hasn't been a liability. Like, that would have been a way different conversation.
Yeah, if he had gone out there and been like full on bum status, like some people were worried about when he got named to the team, it would be one thing. But he hasn't. He hasn't been. He's actually been Brock Nelson. Like, he's been fine. One of the reasons he got included is because of his high end defensive play. He brings that element to the U.S. game, and I think the gold medal game is a great time for him to have a big moment and let the Avs, let's go. Throw some thunderbolts at each other. But yeah, he has 3 points in 4 games, and I don't think he has any points in this 6-2 beatdown right now. So
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's where I'm kind of like with Brock Nelson. Again, we watch him so much, so like we know what we're getting out of him on any given night. For this team, U.S. team specifically, I guess I'm kind of looking at it as like, oh, if he scores, like, I'm ecstatic, but I'm like, he's not the one I'm looking to drive a lot of the offense for that group.
Yeah, and like he's playing like 12 minutes a night. I'm not really looking for that guy. Like Arturi Lehkonen played more than that for Finland. That's a guy that I'm looking at for a little bit more production because he's playing more minutes, because he's playing with the higher end teammates there in an offensive role. Nelson, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I would love to see him have a hat trick on Sunday in the gold medal game.
Please,
yeah. Give us a 4-goal game there, Chief. Like, that sounds great. But
you almost had it that first one.
Yeah,
2 goals weren't called back. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm still not mad about it, obviously.
Yeah, he had an asterisk 4-point game in the first game of the tournament, and then
I think it was 5. Was it not 5? Because I think he had an assist somewhere.
He scored. Did he end up? No, he did not. He did not. He only
did
had 2
he not?
goals.
Okay, no, okay, never mind. I'm
he had
just
an assist
lying.
taken away, and then a 3rd goal taken away. So
yeah,
that was crazy. Yep. Also, since we're talking numbers, somebody in our Toyota chat asked if Necas had outscored Mikko Rantanen. Yes. I went and looked because I was curious, not knowing actually how many points Mikko had actually had. Rantanen, 6 points right now in 4 games. I think 5 games now. 3 of them came in the 11-0 beatdown of France. So half of his points came in that one big outburst against France, while Necas scored in all the games for Czechia, except the first game against Canada. Otherwise, he recorded a point in every game, which was cool.
He was so good. I know you guys have fixated a ton on that in recent days, so you don't have to go down that rabbit hole again. But in terms of sustainability and hoping the Olympic version of that player ends up being the Avalanche version of that player in the postseason, if you get this, Marty, plan the parade. I genuinely feel that. Like, I just think if they get that version of him on top of a more assertive Cale Makar offensively, like, I just don't. I don't see how they don't go on at least a seriously deep run.
I was going to say here, this is a good. Yeah, this is a good comment here too from A-Wolf. If Czechia goes all the way, because like they were very close. Like this was very close to potentially putting themselves in a medal match. Does he get MVP if that's the case and Czechia goes all the way?
Yeah, he would have been on track. Yeah, he would have been had Czechia won the gold medal and things had been like continued onward for them. Yeah, he was their guy. Yep. So, and yeah, my bad. It was against Italy. Canada was the team that bopped France. It was Finland's bopping of Italy. My bad.
Yep. Speaking of top players too, just to kind of bring it back into Avs mode just a little bit. Because I know we're getting closer. Avs had an off day for practice today, but they have been kind of picking up practice. Do want to bring us into our Xfinity X Factor of the podcast. This is the X Factor presented by Xfinity. Imagine that with the production that we've seen from a Martin Necas, with some of what Brock Nelson has provided, with Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar doing what they do, how much of that is sustainable given what we saw before the break?
I think the only thing that's not sustainable is Brock Nelson playing 12 minutes a night. Other than that,
AJ, it says that you muted yourself.
Nope.
We can't hear you, buddy. I don't know what happened there. All of a sudden, the
Thought
audio
it was just
went out.
me.
I'm with
No.
AJ. I mean, they obviously are going to have to be more dependent on
how much that was me. Anyway, I think all of it is sustainable. They're very high end. They're the elite of the elite. These are the guys that are going to drive the Stanley Cup conversation in Colorado.
Yep.
Do you guys think that Marty can be this version, just given everything we've talked about with the power play dynamics and the spacing, and some of what allows Marty to be this version of Marty is him getting the keys to the car for the Czech team in a way that you're not going to get with the Avs. Do you get what I'm asking there?
He didn't though. David Pastrnak got the keys to the car in Czechia, and Marty Necas just took them and said, "I'm doing the driving here, big guy."
Yeah.
So I honestly, I think that
he was the featured artist, but he threw down a better verse than the actual rapper.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. No, I'm kind of in the same boat there. Like, it's Martin Necas. There's some sort of realization that has to happen when you play at that level, I think. And he realized pretty early on that maybe there was not a lot coming from his line mates, and he chose to drive a lot of that. And that's just the kind of player he is. He plays with a lot of confidence. He plays with like his puck movement is, you don't find the natural ability to do that the way that Martin Necas does in a lot of players. And like there was like at that point, like the keys were maybe handed to Pastrnak, but they were up in the air as soon as that first puck dropped.
Yeah, and it's funny because Necas was not good against Canada in the quarterfinal game until the third period.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it was like he jolted to life and was like, "I'm here." And he came very close to making some magic happen.
That he had that like breakaway opportunity in the last 45 seconds that I was 100% sure he was going to score on.
He had Binnington beat too, because he was trying to cut to his backhand and then slide it into the 5-hole, and he has him beat. He just clips the front of the pad. He clipped that front part of Binnington's pad, and it was like he had him beat. He did everything right except he missed it by an inch and a half, maybe.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, kind of fun. I'm excited. If that's the version of Martin Necas we're getting back, like, I'm very, very excited to watch these next few games. Now, granted, hard schedule coming up too, so it's not you're dealing with like a couple days is more than the Canadian guys and Brock Nelson are going to get, obviously, but still a lot of jet lag, still a lot of adjusting to being back in North America to be done. I think you said it best. It's not as though you're going home and like home being Czechia. Like you're coming back to North America. Like that's a big adjustment for some of these guys too. So anyway.
Would you consider giving the gold medal round guys a game or two off? I don't know if this is something you guys have brought up yet, but
I would ask them how they feel, but if they were against softer opponents, yes. But it being Utah,
that's the tough
Minnesota
part.
to
It's
start,
Utah and Dallas, right? And Minnesota.
I was going to
like, right out of
say,
the bat.
you've got that back-to-back immediately as you come back.
if it was Chicago the first game, then they had a day off, and then they had the Utah, Minnesota back-to-back instead of that being the inverse, I would do it. But with the schedule being what it is, you need points.
Yep. Speaking of,
you guys, you win enough games, you secure the top seed, you win the President's Trophy, you do whatever you need to do, right? And you can have the last 8 games off.
Yep.
That like was 22, right?
Right.
Yep.
That was the X Factor presented by Xfinity. Imagine that as we kind of get into wrapping up and looking at the schedule ahead. Some guys who have performed decently for the Avs as we get back into break that may be of use, and I wanted to touch on them just because we haven't talked about them really all that much this season, is the Eagles. Kind of doing what they are doing down in the AHL. I think it's an interesting conversation when you look at, how much those prospects were utilized last year versus this year. Obviously a bigger pool to draw from. But you're looking at the Eagles, who are second in the Pacific Division, with games in hand too on a lot of their opponents.
Yep.
How
points
big
percentage, they are the third. They're tied for third best points percentage in the AHL.
Yeah,
the entire AHL.
Yeah, no, they've been, especially looking at the run that they've had, or they had to end last season too. Like it is no surprise that they hopped off to this great of a start and have been performing the way that they have. But how much of their success kind of drives a lot of these looks that I mean, obviously, you've got the injury front and you can't help like calling players up at times. But do you think that helps confidence levels knowing in these players, knowing that they're performing at the level they're at with Colorado and the Eagles performing as well as they are?
No, I don't think so, because a lot of the guys driving the bus for the Eagles aren't going to help the Avs very much. Like we've seen Jack Ashan has had some real ups and downs as an Av this year and has been lights out for the Eagles. But like Jason Megna, Daniil Gushchin, Alex Barré-Boulet, these aren't guys who are going to help the Avs. I think that the Avs have loaded up on making the Eagles very competitive with a lot of good, really good AHL players, not projectable NHL talent. The guys that you're looking at as projectable NHL guys, you want to see Nikita Prischapov and Ivan, Taylor Makar, Matt Steinberg, and it's been a wide array of results for them so far this season from those guys. But I don't think that it does much for me that like Barré-Boulet, Megna's not even on an NHL contract. TJ Tynan, Jack Ashan, like those are all the guys that are leading them offensively. I'm curious about the next like again, Taylor Makar's been pretty good and I've liked him at times in the NHL. He's intriguing to me, but like you look at a lot of the guys that the Avs have on contract that you would consider moving, like putting them into the lineup in case of injury. They are at best like injury fill-in. Like they're actual, you feel good about these guys coming into your lineup and helping out and being quality players for you. It's a pretty short list for me.
Yep.
Does that help development though? For like, if you were running the team, would you rather have some of those guys who are projectable NHL players maybe assuming a larger portion of the responsibility on the Eagles? Or is it good to have some of those guys just from like a winning culture and winning habits standpoint? I do think there's something to be said about if you're just playing for a trash organization that some bad habits can set in, even if some of those guys aren't going to be what they are in the NHL at the AHL level. Like that's not necessarily going to translate. Is it good for development with some of those guys to have that type of presence around? Or is that just really about having a competitive product and selling tickets and all that?
I think it's a really, really, really good question, J. Mike, because I have covered the Avalanche long enough and in depth enough over the years that I can say they've done both. and it
Yeah.
hasn't meant a damn thing for their NHL development. They have tried giving those guys tons of minutes and letting them be the stars, and those guys haven't turned into players. They've tried loading up and being a really good AHL team with a lot of AHL vets like the Jackashans and Megnas and Barre Boulets, and it hasn't turned into a lot of development wins for them. Me personally, because the Avs aren't looking for star players right now, like they don't need a guy to go to the AHL and develop on the high end and become like a top 6 guy for them. I just don't think the Avs need that. So I like their current approach for where the state of the organization is. They go out and they get college guys. They get Logan O'Connors. They get Sam Malinskis. They sign a lot of those guys every year, and most of them we never hear from. And every once in a while, you get an O'Connor, you get a Malinsky, and they go and get guys who are physically mature, mentally mature. They're not waiting on teenagers to develop over the course of several seasons. They're going out and they're getting really good, proven college players and trying to get role players at the NHL level. And then, this is my favorite part of the way that it's currently set up versus how it used to be. They are playing those guys in the roles that they would be playing in the NHL with the Eagles. Taylor Makar is not playing 18 minutes a night. He's not a top 6 guy for the Eagles. He is a bottom 6 guy learning how to be a bottom 6 guy. It's translatable. You're asking him, and they play the same way. They intentionally play the same kind of game under Mark Letestu that they do under Jared Bednar. It's the same type of game. The Avalanche have a very heavy role in choosing lineups and combinations and things that they want to see out of the Eagles. And because they do so much of that driving of the bus, they are doing a better job getting guys who can meaningfully fill in here and there. We haven't seen it bear a lot of fruit in terms of getting actual NHLers. There have been a couple, though, and you're not expecting to get a lot of those wins. Like, you're not expecting Cooper Gay to come in and be like, oh, well, that's your next LOC, right? Like, they've been getting a lot of different types of guys instead of going out and getting one guy and just waiting for that one guy to finally break through. They've been trying a lot of different types, and they do deep college scouting, and their drafting has skewed heavily towards 20-year-olds because they don't draft in the first 2 rounds anymore. So they need to get the guys that are going to be available in the middle rounds. That's a lot of 20-year-olds, and they go and get guys who are on the upswing and have shorter development paths, but a shorter development path means a lower ceiling. I like the way that they have it set up right now. It makes a lot more sense to me versus where the organization actually is and their long-term needs. Would it have been great to Cal Ritchie in the AHL and have him develop there? Sure, it could be neat. It would be great for the Eagles fans, and it would be nice for the Avs to actually prove that they could do that with a high pick. But it doesn't really matter, honestly. However you get an NHL player, the point is to get one. And I'm more hopeful that their development track is better than what it used to be. They've changed a lot of internal processes, and yeah, I feel good about where they're headed.
Yep. Unlike the NHL, the AHL is currently playing games right now. They've got 2 games coming up here, both tonight being Friday and tomorrow against Coachella Valley. We are not off this weekend. We have 2 games that we are doing watch-alongs for, and then we have a gold medal post game that we are going to be bringing you guys. Outside of that is going to do it for today's podcast. Thank you guys so much for hopping in and joining us, and we will see you next time here, the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.